Thank you.
I'll stay with you here
very much.
Right?
Awesome.
Because if you're DomQuichotte, I'm going to be your Sancho Panza, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
You got it.
Yeah,
most of the people don't get it. So.
Okay.
Sancho Panza, here we go. Thanks. Well, to be quite honest, I didn't ever believe in mobile photography at all, right? So first, when the first, what is it?
What are you doing here?
Yeah, just telling you this, and now I'm leaving, right? No, but truly, as technology got better and mobile phones got better, I'm pretty convinced it does work. So that's why I'm here. That's what I want to talk about. Do you have the new iPhone 7? You probably don't, right?
No,
the Plus.
I don't yet, but I've ordered it.
Yeah, I really badly wanted to get an iPhone 7 to show something on stage and show the people I got it, but I don't have it. So I have to improvise. No, just kidding, just kidding, just kidding. So, for my understanding, mobile photography is not only taking pictures with the iPhone, right? It's more than that. It's because a camera is already a mobile device, right? So you can take it everywhere with you, and you can take photography. For me, the most advanced part is that I can do my stuff on a mobile device. I can take my pictures with a connector. I can just insert the SD card into my iPad. I could use Lightroom Mobile. I can sync all my Lightroom catalogs, or actually just the images I need, on my mobile device, and then I can start editing. Let me just switch into Lightroom Mobile for a sec. So I have 3 catalogs in here, right? Is it on the screen? It now is. So I went to LA this time for a couple weeks, and here are some of the images I took, right? But when I'm doing a shooting, the basic part, or the most important part for me, is the color look, okay? Because that's important for the emotional message of an image, and that's actually the first thing I'm doing while shooting on Lightroom, okay? So I go take a look at my pictures, and then I take one of my presets. As many of you know or may not know, I just released a book called Die Bildlooks der Profis, which is just about color looks for images, either in Photoshop
That's
or...
only in German?
It's in German only,
it's in
yes.
German, okay. Any
So,
plans to translate it?
Yeah, I would love to, but no. So I put a lot of effort and time in color lookups and color looks in general. So now with Lightroom Mobile, I'm able to sync my files to a mobile catalog. So let's just say we can take, let's just take any picture, for instance. How about this one? Yeah, it's just a picture I took just downtown in LA. And I like the shading and the colors and stuff like that, but I want to change it a little bit, okay? So what I can do, I have all my adjustments that I'm familiar with from Lightroom. Okay, I can go in there and just change the temperature. I can go in there and change the exposure. And once again, this is a RAW file. It's not a JPEG, it's not rendered, it's the whole RAW file, just a little bit smaller, right? So now I can go and play with all the exposure and stuff I'm used to. But I can also go into tone curves. Yeah, that's my very favorite tool for when it comes to color lookups. I can adjust, not only contrast, but I could also go into the color channels. Let's say I want to go into the blue ones and try to add, like a little bit of this vintage look. It's all there. I can use it, and it works perfectly. And it syncs back to my computer. Okay, so once I get on my workstation at home, all these settings will be there, and I can continue working. But I put so much time and effort in creating all these presets. I don't want to go there, take a picture, and start from the very beginning. Yeah, I have this preset, and I want to use it. The only problem is with Lightroom Mobile so far, you can't create your own presets. Yes? I mean, if we take a look here, there are presets. It's called presets, and there are some predefined presets. I can go to black and white and choose one of the presets there are within Lightroom. Yeah? They may or may not be good, but I want to use my own. So here's the trick. So what you want to do is you want to create some titles, pictures with titles in Photoshop, like these here. It's just pictures. That's my presets. Yeah, I have different categories. I have black and white. I have matte fashion. I have monochromes, vintage. All this stuff is in there. And what I did, let's just switch to this image and reset it. Reset all. It's just a color picture, right? What I'm doing in Lightroom, not Lightroom Mobile, what I'm doing, I import all these images in there. And then I apply my presets to this image. Ashes, for instance, is one preset. I apply it to this image. And then I sync all these images to Lightroom Mobile. And now I have all my presets in here. So let's just say I want to have this alt polar preset. What I'm going to do is I click over here and say copy settings, right? I can choose if I want white balance or all the stuff. I want everything in there. I say OK. Now I go back to my original image where I want to apply the effect. So let's just say, I guess it was this one, right? So now I go ahead and click paste setting, and now it's all in there. And I'm still able to go into fine-tuning. I click on edit, and I say, OK, I want to adjust maybe the...
That's actually a pretty cool trick. So just to recap, is create the images in to retouch them in Lightroom,
yeah,
and then sync them to your Lightroom Mobile, and then copy the settings
exactly,
and paste them on.
I mean, the tricky part, or the most the cool part about it is that it has already names in there, right? Mm-hmm. So you gotta create like a template for it, whatever. It can be just like, let's say, a black text on a white surface or something. But since we have images in there, I already see how the effect will affect the actual image, right? So I see, OK, that's a little bit too warm for my purpose and stuff like that. So that's a very nice trick to use your own presets in Lightroom Mobile. OK, but as you said, I'm a retoucher. I do love presets. I do love color grading. But the funny thing for me is to actually start retouching on a mobile device, right? So let's just go back and select the picture.
What do you mean by funny?
I mean, funny since I never believed in it, right?
Okay.
Because I said, OK, that's something that's not possible at all. And now, look, I'm standing here retouching. Unbelievable. So let's say we take this picture. And what I want to do is I want to put this picture into Photoshop Fix. Photoshop Fix is like another mobile application which is nice for retouching and, you know, the purpose actually I'm needing. So it's pretty much the same workflow like on a workstation. Yeah, and on my computer I have Lightroom. I open the file in Lightroom and put it into Photoshop. I edit it and I go back to Lightroom and do the adjustments. Same here. So what I want to do is I want to say open in, and Lightroom Mobile actually asks me if I want to use it in a small version or the maximum size. Of course, I want to use the maximum size, right?
Of course.
So, click here and say copy to Photoshop Fix. Good. So now we do have this picture here in Photoshop Fix. And I can use all the retouching techniques I'm used to from Photoshop. I have the healing brush, right? Over here, I can define the brush size. Oh, I can define the brush size. The softness, the hardness. Then I can over and just start painting on the spots. So the problem is you really need to take advantage of the size here, right? If the brush is too big, like here, it starts to get blurry just a little bit. So you really want to work with either a very small brush and then paint couple of times over the same spot, right? So let me just reduce the size over here and going over here. And that's how I could start retouching the stuff. Is it useful? It is, sure, yeah? If we would take a selfie right now with a raw file, I could easily... Exactly, I could retouch you out, which is the nice part. Of course, I'm not talking about high-end retouching. I think that's clear, right? I don't want to spend 16 hours on a mobile device just to go back to my computer and start from the very beginning. But for if you need to do something very fast because you want to post it or you want to show it to a client, and there is something in the background you don't want to actually, let's just go back to another image. So where is it? Let's just see flat. And from the key visual, this image, for instance, right? I love it, but let's say I want to get rid of this because I don't want anyone to see it. That's no problem, Photoshop fix. So let me just go back in my mobile presets because I want to add one of those presets just to show you how fast it is. Festival of Lights, one of my very favorite presets I ever did. So copy settings, go back to the original image. Hold on.
Are these settings available somewhere to purchase or download?
Yes, on fxray.com. It's my website. You can get it on purchase. And I have a SD card here right now with all my presets, value 200 euros. And I'm going to give it to one of the lucky guys here in the audience,
okay.
right? So. Okay, let me see. So let's go back to this image. And first of all, I want to apply the effect. So I'm going to paste settings. I like it, but it's too blue and it's too dark. So what I want to do is I want to go to Edit and change the color temperature to maybe something warmer. Also adjust the color settings. And now finally the image really pops. And that's all I want to do in Lightroom. Got my preset. I did some adjustments. Now I want to take it over to Photoshop Fix. Maximum available. Photoshop Fix, here we go. Take my healing brush or whatever, something like that, and now I just start painting over this area, right? Maybe some adjustments. If you find this spot a little bit difficult, sometimes it puts the .com over here. You can always go to Patch and just say, okay, take it from somewhere here. No problem, right? Okay, what else can I do? I love the liquify too, especially when it comes to retouching. I love a liquify, yeah? So that's what I want to do over here. I mean, we have a model. She's pretty skinny. But for some reason, this part is, if we talk in fashion photography, for me, it's a little bit too, you know. So let's just get over here, select the liquify fill, swell, and just find the radius over here, a little bit bigger. And now I can just easily, come on, that's too much, right? But I can just slightly put it down. Before, after, yeah, just subtle difference, maybe.
I think the magic of the liquify tool is really the subtlety.
Yeah, exactly. So that's definitely too much. And then I can go again to the warp, maybe zoom in, smaller brush size, and just doing some little adjustments to get a better curve over here. Confirm, and that's it. And I mean, that's something that takes you seconds, and the effect is huge, right? Good. So that's mobile photography, Lightroom so far.
Do you ever take pictures with your mobile devices and send them straight to
Yes, I tend to do more than I actually want, right? Because, I mean, if you have a phone, it's pretty much always there, and especially with the option to shoot in RAW, it's getting, I mean, it's a huge thing, and it's getting even bigger. And I'm so glad that Lightroom Mobile can handle all these things. And especially, I mean, I'm traveling a lot, right? And the annoying part about having shootings is to select pictures. I hate selecting pictures. I probably mostly don't do it. I have my girlfriend or whoever select the best pictures. But on a mobile device, let's say I'm driving from Berlin to Köln, and I have 3 hours or 4.5 hours, and I'm sitting there, and I have the time to really just get through the images. Let's go back to Lightroom. Yeah. And just rate them. Yeah. I can say, hey, it's 4:3, whatever. I can deselect it. And that's really the part that takes so long when you sit on the computer and I don't like it. I hate it, actually, yeah. And when you're on the run, you can take your mobile device with you and do it. So, let's just go back. I have a special technique for for rating. Yeah, I never use 1 star. I never use 2 stars because then I would have to go 5 times through all the shooting. I use 3 stars. That's when I start. So first of all, I took at all my pictures and I select the 3 stars. That's a good one. That's not a good one, so it doesn't get a 3. That's a good one. It's a 3. Then I take a look at all the 3 stars. Then again, I select 2 stars for the pictures that are nice, right? And then the 5 stars are the pictures I actually want to retouch and edit. So that's my technique. Right?
That's actually a good tip as well, like limiting your choice.
Exactly. Otherwise, you have to go 5 times, and I mean, it's a lot of time. If you have 5,000 pictures or something during a shooting, you don't want to look at them 5 times, right? Yeah. Good. So, one more thing. When you're retouching, when you're using Lightroom Mobile, the first time you didn't have quite a lot of options. Now you do have a lot of options. Let's say you just tab with 2 fingers. You can actually see the whole adjustments, right? You can see the aperture. You can see everything pretty much from the image. You can see the rating. You can start sorting the rating. Yeah, you can just say, hey, I just want to see the 3 stars or bigger and stuff like that. So for me, Lightroom Mobile is really something time-consuming, time-saving.
Time-saving.
Yeah, you got me. Time-saving. And even if I drive a car, my girlfriend, she can go through the pictures and rate them and stuff like that. And since I have my presets on the mobile device, we can actually just go through them, take a look at the pictures, apply a preset, and we immediately see how it affects the whole image. And we know, even on set while shooting, if this preset works or if it doesn't, right?
So what are the, for example, your 3 favorite settings that you want to fiddle with in Lightroom Mobile? If you didn't have your presets, like what is it you do immediately to a picture?
Okay, so besides rating, you mean? You mean okay, let's just go through it. So, edit. Of course, standard aperture, highlights, shadows, and temperature. That's the basic thing ever, right? But as I said, I love the curves. Where is it? Tone curves. And I love the ability to not only just go to the parametric view, but also to go through all colors, blue, green, red, and all the stuff, because that's how I tend to do all my color lookups. Yeah, I just love playing with those guys.
Yeah, there's people who use curves, some people use levels.
I know, but curves for me, especially with the ability of changing colors, is so underestimated, curves for me, right? People mostly don't understand how they work, so they tend to not use them. They rather use color lookup tables or something. But this gives you the ability to change the whole color lookup, the contrast, everything. So that's my favorite thing. And of course, lens correction is nice, but I also like to work with split toning. Sometimes it gives not only but additional. Yeah. So hold on, let me just reset this here for a sec. Basic, and let's just reset it. Split toning, and now I can add. Hold on. I can add color to either the highlights or the shadows and mix them even, right? So let's say the shadows, I want to have like this bluish color, maybe something like that. Change the saturation slightly down, and then I can adjust, let's say, add some yellowish color to the highlights. Saturation down. And then you have the balance, right? You can say it's more highlights or more shadows and stuff like that. It's nothing I would use only. It's something I would use in addition to my previous settings.
And when you get back to your office, when you look at your pictures, when all the settings are synced over with Creative Sync through the cloud, do you find that what you saw on the iPad actually is what you intended, or do you then work more in Lightroom on the desktop?
No, it's pretty close, but of course, I mean, if you work on an ISO monitor, for instance, on a display, you need to take care of colors. So I always need to adjust colors. But I mean, it's half of the work. It's already there. You just need to check it, and that's it, right?
And you've been showing it on an iPad, but of course this also works on the phone.
Exactly, it works on a phone. I also started retouching on a phone, which is a little bit.
That's a bit tricky.
Yeah, you have to zoom in and out all the time, which is pretty difficult, but it works. It works.
It can be helpful for sorting your pictures.
Exactly.
It's like instead of playing Mario, you play select, deselect. No?
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I like. I mean, that's why we say it's a creative cloud, because you can use it everywhere. You can use it on an iPad. You can use it on your iPhone. You can use it on your desktop computer. And
all right, Dom. What can I say? Thank you for your insights, and thank you all for going through this stream with us. DomQuichotte,
yeah,
our
you wanna
retoucher.